everybody. My name's Hannah Smith, and I have been booking travel for a little over 5 years now. And I just wanted to share a little bit of information on how to book with Avanti. I know it's not um, one of our regular vendors, but I actually really enjoy using it, especially I do a lot of European bookings, and they're really great to use if you have several. If it's a multi-destination, their platform is just really user friendly. And they also have really great customer service. So if you do have any questions, you can always call them, and they'll help make updates for you. So let me just do a quick walkthrough on how to use Avanti destinations. So this is the agent login section. And they do have like some trainings and webinars too that you guys can register for if you want a little bit more in-depth um, look at that. And then this is like the main dashboard. I'm going to get it off of my clients, but so you can book quotes when you come to the main section. You can look up if you have any saved quotes. You can see those. You can see your bookings. And then you can also filter right here and just type in your information. And then when you're ready to, oh, and then if you like, once you do have your bookings, they'll pop up here and you can go in and edit them or preview them there. And that's also where you'll make payments for your clients is on there. Okay, and so if you go to create a booking, this is where you're going to see a quick quote section. Um, you can explore like already pre-customized routes, and you can also build step by step. And so there's also groups right here, pre and post cruise, and then you can check pricing and availability. I primarily use the like build step by step in this platform. The quick quotes are really great though if you're trying to do like I'll just show you really quick. So you basically put in the destination, you can add in the air, and that's the great part about Avanti too, is you can literally do everything in here. It does get pricey, so before you use this platform, you definitely want to make sure like your clients have the budget for this, because they can literally do like guided tours. They can book the rail, the air, the shuttles, the um, all of the tours. They can do everything on here, the hotels. And so it just really makes it really great because it's all in one spot. But it does add up. And so if you do have a client that, has a budget restraint, you might want to use a different platform. But this one really makes it super easy for your end. And then even if your clients make any adjustments. And so you're just going to go through and kind of fill all this out. And then I guess we'll just make a sample. And I'll just do double. And then my last couple have been like, we'll just do France. That's always a big one. Paris is usually one of the top spots. And then we'll just do England. We probably should have started the other way. Let's start in London. And then we'll go to France. And then you're going to have to put the number of nights right here. Is this not? Hang on, this is. Maybe let me. Okay, there we go. And then we're gonna we'll just do 2 nights for each. And honestly, most people probably we'll say 3 nights. Three. And then we'll just do one more, maybe. to Germany, see what they have. We'll do Cologne. I just did that one recently, so we'll do that. And then maybe Frankfurt. Okay. Okay, so and then you can pick like your star amount of stars, and this is going to be determine your pricing too. We'll just go down a little bit, and then you can do small group tours or private tours, and then you can kind of make selections based on what they're looking for, if they're there for history and culture, family friendly, nature, etc. We'll just do Avanti recommended, and then let's see what comes up. And honestly, January is probably not a good date for this, but I'll just show you how it works. And then it's going to build the hotels, and then you can kind of add in what you want. So you're actually going to go through and um, remove what you don't want. So we'll leave that. We have a London hotel, and then if you need to change that, you can go in here and put replace, and you can pick another selection. And then this is the walking tour. And then the London highlights. And then there's another, we probably don't need that. But basically whatever you don't want, you could take it off and, replace it. But it does kind of pre-build for you. So it's kind of nice. And it just makes you, kind of gives you like a layout of how you want it to look. And then you can go in there and edit stuff. Okay. They do have good trip protection, so you can add that. Yes, I want travel protection. And then down at the bottom is where it shows you your commission. You can also add if you want to. And then I don't think we added, we forgot to add air. So let's just redo that really quick. And then I'll go into one of the tours and just show you where you can edit that as well. And then you can also make payments, like it'll ask for your deposit, and then you can go in and make payments once you're ready. Once your client wants to make payments throughout the course of their until their full payment is due, you can do that on there for them. Okay, so now we added the air, and let's go up and see. So that's right here, and then you can go in and you can select your flights. And so we're coming into London. And you can change if you want premium or business, and we'll just do economy. And then you can go in and select your flights. Oh, no available air schedules found. Oh, we said from. Okay, hang on one second. We'll just do from New York. It'll be easier. And then after you build, if you do have any questions, like they're really great if you just call and they'll modify, like if you create a template and then you have questions about it, they'll also update for you. And they also will give you suggestions if you do have any questions about what the best route is or anything like that, they'll help you with that. Okay, so this is where you can go through and kind of select what your best flights are going to be. And so we'll just pick that one. And that gives them almost 2 weeks. And then it'll show you a little bit of commission that you get on there. And so now you have the flight. And then you're going to want to go through all this with your client. And then obviously you can go in and you can add tours. These just come with like basic ones. And then you're going to want to go in and, they may not want to do this walking tour. So you can go in and replace that. And then you can also add. And so it really just does a great job of giving you a platform with everything on there with all the components. And then especially for clients who want to make payments, you don't have to go to several vendors. You could do it all in one place. Okay, and so you can just kind of go through here and you can pick which ones you want. You do have to pick the date. So this is 3 days, 4 days. So these are like walking tours, or several day. But just to give you an idea of what's on there, here's the hop on, hop off bus, landmarks. And so these are all the different things that you can add. Tower of London. And we'll just let's add this onto here. Here's Windsor Castle. Entrance to Tower of London afternoon. Oops. And so you can literally just go through and build those in. Let me just edit this one too. And so these are like several day passes. And so you're going to want to make sure if you pick those that you have enough time, if your client has enough time to do those. And for this route, we're only there 3 days. So, okay, so this is Tower of London. I was trying to find one. There we go. Okay, and then this, I must have removed that instead of added it. So let's do a different one. And then that's just to kind of show you that you can add different ones on there. Let's see if we could add Windsor. Okay. Oh, so this is private. So if you see like how much they can go up, if they do want private, but I have had people that do want private tours. Um, and they wanted everything guided because they were just nervous. So this one's a small group. So this was Westminster Abbey, but we'll add that one on. So you just kind of have to go through and see what's available for each location and make sure the dates are right. I don't think we picked we did this on the same day. So you just kind of want to make sure that everything, day 2 and 4. So just kind of make sure everything lines up when you're building this. And then if you want to, like, say your client doesn't want to, they don't need the private transfer because they're just going to take the rail, then you can delete these. Okay. And then at the bottom, you can go through and you can save. Okay, and this is going to save as a proposal. Just say Smith. Here. And then you're going to put in a phone number. Okay, and then this can go out to them or you could send it to yourself to save it. You can hide the price or you could show it. And then you can save that. And then it'll show up on your saved on the dashboard. So now see it's right here. So then you can come back to it when you're ready. And then also, um, if you're ready to book it, you can book it here. You can share it. You can delete it. You can copy it and make an edit. Like if you have a client that isn't sure if they have two like routes that they're kind of looking through and they aren't sure, you can make a copy and then price compare for them. And then you can add your own notes. And then once again, like this is the commission and the totals. And then when you're ready to book, you're going to go on here and finalize everything. You're going to need the passenger name. Um, and you can also do this where it's like a no-name quote, and that'll just kind of save in the pricing, but it's not going to actually save it for them. And then they'll review it and they'll let you know if they have any questions for you. And then they do reach out to you when it does come time for payment. You do have to do like a dual authentication with them. So just keep an eye out for that if you do book it to get the approval before they actually pull funds. So yeah, hopefully that helps. There are crafted itineraries in here that are already pre-built. And so these are kind of fun to look through too. And then you just have to go through dates and room type and obviously like where you're leaving from. And then they also have a lot of details on here, like once you have your client ready to go about each destination that I'll show you in a second. And they're already pre-compiled onto little PDFs that you can send them like about each, like if they're going to 3 or 4 different countries in Europe, you can send them the information on that and it already downloads for them. And then the really great part about Avanti is their itinerary that they build is just so pretty. And they do send out a paper copy to the clients a couple days before or a couple weeks before travel. And they um, their document final document is just really pretty. Okay, so this is like a pre-built one, Grand Capitals of Central Europe. So if you're like new, you can always get on. Typically, my clients are pretty like precise of what they have wanted to go. So I usually end up like pre-building it from scratch for them. But this just kind of shows you it'll pop up and then you can kind of fiddle with it if you need to. But that one's already in there. And so this one's Prague, Vienna, and Budapest. And so they do have those as well. And then if you look over at destinations, you can go to all the locations. So typically when I have somebody leaving, I'll go check all the information. And so I just had somebody in Germany and France. And you can make sure that you have all the information for them that you want to share. And then you can just explore for yourself too. So explore. And then you can also go to the specific city. And so, and then these are like some ideas of customer favorite routes. So if they're going to, if you have somebody that says, I want to go to Germany, where are the best spots? This is where you can look for ideas. And then this is, oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for. So resources right here. But look, they have travel tips, featured. So they'll tell you like where the featured places are of each spot. Brochures, maybe it's flyers. Okay, so this is like the lookbook of Germany. And these are really good like marketing ideas too that you can use. But if you have somebody interested and they're not really sure where they want to go, these are some good ideas for them. And then okay, and this is where like if you do pick one of those routes, you can go through here and edit this and it'll pop up on this side. And then here's some featured tours that you can walk through, look through for ideas of what you want to add on. And Europe. Well, this is all like promotional details, so that's different. But hopefully that helped give you a little walkthrough of some of the different options that Avanti has. And they really do have a lot of information and details, and they do make it really user-friendly, and they have great customer service. So that's why I tend to use them. So hopefully that helped. And I hope that you guys use and decide to book with Avanti. Thank you so much for coming today, and have a great afternoon.